My name is Max Stein, and I love video games.
I'm the Megabuck. I really love video games.
And my name is Raph. I also love video games.
Hey friends, Benny here. I love video games.
And welcome to the Game Treasure Podcast, where we discuss treasured video games of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Warning, the Game Treasure Podcast is not for children or anyone with a brain, for that matter. On this week's episode, you've probably been spoiled by the title, because I don't always keep it a surprise, but we've got another message from our longtime friend, the king of video games.
Yes.
I would love to give you a preview about what it's about, but, you know, when I went to go open the email, my browser couldn't load any of the text that he sent me. It just came up as gobbledygook.
Fun.
I don't know why. It was just a weird, so it was almost as if my computer couldn't read the language with which he wrote it in. But anyhow, I digress. We will get into that later on. But before we do that, we should start off with something very important, which is that we've got video game news to discuss. Gamescom happened this week as of this recording. And, you know, Buck said before, there's no E3. So any opportunity in which video games get showcased, the Game Awards is basically the only one. But, hey, we've got Gamescom.
E3. Sleep well, sweet prince. Sleep well.
You either you either die a hero or live long enough to become a villain.
Live long enough to become Jeff Keighley.
Yep. Oh, God.
So, you know, I think it's still going on technically as of this recording. But anyhow, there was a bunch of reveals for day one. For my synopsis, it was a lot of like DLC announcements and a lot of update announcements. You know, live service games are popping, and so they just keep adding to games that already exist. With just a sprinkling of new video games within there. Some highlights for me. As far as additions to things that already exist, Cult of the Lamb is getting a new DLC, which has been described by the developers as humongous.
Whoa. I
So
know
That's what they all
that's
say.
cool. Yeah,
I
I
had
know,
not
right?
heard that, rather.
Yeah.
They're embellishing the size of their DLC.
I too have a humongous DLC. Yeah.
I have a giant DLC for you. In the trailer. In the trailer, we did a whole episode where I talked about Cult of the Lamb. I beat it with my girlfriend. It has that 2-player expansion where one of you plays as the goat. That's a fantastic game if you haven't played it. This one looks like it's bringing like new environmental stuff. So it's like winter time or something. It showed you having to like guide your followers through winter. So you're building shelters for them or they freeze to death. That game loves killing animals like Happy Tree Friends style, and so it
That's
seems
the perfect
like
way to put it. It really is.
Cute murder. Yeah.
they've invented more ways to kill cute animals. So I'll probably play that. Silk Song got a demo that people are playing.
Yeah.
And an actual release date, right?
I don't think it's got a
Yes, it does.
full-blown.
So,
What's
yeah.
the date then?
Yes.
September the 6th, I believe.
Yep.
Really?
Like, really soon.
That's very soon.
Damn.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was
You wanna-
just
you wanna-
September
4th.
Sorry, September
4th. Excuse me.
Whoa.
Well, look at
Yes. Shit, that's
So, wait,
like
that-
tomorrow,
that's-
basically.
that.
By the time this comes out, yeah.
By the time this airs, it'll be less than a week till Silk Song.
Wow. Well, congratulations, nerds. Your game's finally here. No, I don't know. I played a little bit of Hollow Knight, but I wasn't really that horny for it. Are any of you particularly horny for Silk Song?
You know, I liked Hollow Knight, but not enough to really care too much about Silk Song.
I'm in the same boat. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was a very rich game. It was a very
Yeah.
beautiful game.
Yeah.
Just, you know, kind of feel like I had done it before, maybe 10 times. So it wasn't anything new feeling.
I just think it's been too long. You know, it's just been too long. I don't really care all that much.
I think the buzz is
It's
gone
been
unless you're a
far too
hardcore
long.
Silk Song
It's
fan.
been
Yeah,
like
I
a
guess.
month.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Fair.
Well, like I mean, Silk Song. They've been talking about it for years now, but yeah.
Right.
Black Myth Wukong is getting additional, like a new DLC thing.
Oh.
We've got new trailers for Onimusha. We got a new trailer
That's cool.
for Silent Hill F with the English voice actors in it.
Oh, I gotta watch
Not that I probably want to play it in Japanese anyhow because it takes place in Japan.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm
I'm excited about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm actually excited for. The new
yeah.
Silent Hill game
Yeah.
with interesting combat
Yes.
too. Like it's actually got combat, which is
And the
wild.
guy that we talked about before, but the guy that writes that is bonkers.
That's
So-
right. I forgot about that. And then lastly, as far as things that we knew were coming, but we just got more of, was Resident Evil 9.
Oh
They
yeah,
showed
yeah.
There's a
little
demo.
Oh, okay.
Which means we'll get a demo soon.
Cool.
After the game's come. And it showed off
Awesome.
the monster. It's a stalker monster. It looks like it could be like a Lisa Trevor expanded. I mean, it's supposed to take place way after that, and so if she got left there and didn't, I don't know.
That's what I
Terrifying.
heard as well. And then Buck had to remind me who that was because I was like, that's not a Resident Evil character. I remember.
That's from RE1 remake. That
Yeah.
was the daughter of the mansion owner or whatever originally.
She's
in
the
the
lady
Barclay
who's
Town.
shuffling around under the mansion wearing like a human face on her own face.
Right, and has
Yeah.
her hands like handcuffed.
Yeah,
but then
exactly.
the main
No fucking
playable
clue.
characters, they're the daughter and granddaughter of that character from Outbreak. So they jumped
Right.
from 2 Resident Evil games that are pseudo forgotten.
That's the
There you
real
go.
news
So
right
it's-
there.
Further evidence that Outbreak will be remade as we proclaimed earlier this year.
I'm asking the podcast powers to activate and
Yes,
get
please.
a new Outbreak with new tech, and now that Discord exists and all those things too.
And then as far as new shit, there was mostly just crazy wacky shit. So let me cover normal shit first. So the people that did Disco Elysium are making a new game.
Wait, did you think that's
Whoa.
normal?
Really?
Yes.
Is this, okay.
It's called Zero Parades. And
Zero
it's a
Parades.
CRPG once again, top-down view. There's clips of it, a person running from rooftop to rooftop. I haven't beat Disco Elysium, but hey, they're making a more Disco Elysium.
Well, here's the
basically.
problem. It's the publishers that made that, but not the developer because they fired everybody
Yes, they did. It
at
was
that
really
developer
tragic.
after that game came out and sold a bazillion copies.
So it's not the same team.
It's not
No.
the same team.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
it's
don't
just
even know
the
if
same
like
company.
a single same person is on it or not. It was dirty. It was really dirty.
Okay.
That-
if we're
that
wrong
whole
about that, we don't
situation-
fucking care.
yeah.
Don't email us.
Ooh,
More
this,
stuff.
This looks interesting. Zero Parades.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah, Dawn of War, the Warhammer 40K themed RTS, is getting a 4th installment,
Let's go.
and it looks like not shit for once.
Yeah. The
finally.
animations look really cool.
I know they recently put out a remake of Dawn of War that fixed a lot of the like UI shit, but just like, man, we've talked about it ad nauseum, but the IP of Warhammer 40K is just the coolest shit ever. Like, you don't get cooler character models, you don't get crazier storyline than Warhammer 40K, and it's a game about doing war. And besides the huge epic like RTS ones, I can't remember what those are called, but like they just
Total
need a
War.
StarCraft size one. Yeah, Total War.
Well, those are all fantasy though. Those are Warhammer Fantasy.
Right.
not-
Yes.
And it's been
So-
almost 10 years. It's been like 8 or 9 years since Dawn of War 3. So
It looks cool. It looks
Yeah.
cool. You watch a bunch of orcs getting torn asunder by a
yeah,
fucking what are those mechs called that the
Dreadnoughts?
Dreadnought, yeah.
Hell
really
yeah.
cool. There's a game coming out called Cinder City, which is with the new NC Soft joint. It's got like a third person, more realistic type of look to it. It looks like, oh god, what's that? Oh, that game that when it first came out was really good at testing your PC's graphics, and you play as like a super
Crysis.
soldier. Crisis.
Yeah.
It looks like multiplayer Crisis, frankly. So
finals?
Crisis. Those
the
are the Hunt
finals?
Showdown people.
right.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Crytek.
Oh, that's
there,
true.
the new Lego Batman coming.
The city
Always
looks
fun.
amazing in that, though.
does.
It's like almost Arkham
Cool.
Asylum or whatever,
Okay.
Arkham City level of.
It looks like they're not going to
Batman.
be as silly with this like Batman as in voiced
Might still
by,
be.
you know what I mean? Like what's his
Oh,
name?
come
from-
on. Lego Batman's hilarious.
That's part of the
Like,
fun, though, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not poo-pooing on the hilariousness of Lego Batman. I'm just simply making the observation that this one seems to be not taking that route.
Why
A slightly
so
darker tone. huh?
serious?
I don't believe
Perhaps.
it. I'll believe it when I see it.
Joe, watch the trailer.
Yep.
And then Bubsy 4D.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We
That's what's up.
all,
Has
we're all
always
excited
sucked,
about that
I'm
one.
sorry.
Yeah.
I
all you
love
had to
that.
say.
In the trailer for Bubsy 4D, they're like, hey, we knew that the games are ass, but like not
Especially the
this
third
one.
one.
A wink. And it's just like, you know it,
Like, wait,
it
you know
looks
it's gonna be
so
ass?
shitty.
Wait a minute. There's another one that was new. Is takes two of my favorite genres, and that's Densha de Go and Jet Set Radio. That Densha Attack game.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's this game
cool.
where you're fucking freestyle Tony Hawking a train around town.
I don't understand.
If you haven't seen
this.
it, look
What
up
the
Dench
hell?
We
Attack.
didn't ask you to understand it. We asked you to parallel it to Katamari. That's
You
all
know,
we
yeah,
asked.
you're right. I don't need to understand it. I just need to fucking play it.
Yeah.
It looks unhinged.
New Katamari game. Not a Gamescom announcement, but we're
Right.
getting a new Katamari game.
Sure. And lastly, to stay on topic when it comes to Gamescom, for me, there's this game called Valor Mortis.
This one looks cool.
The only reason it stands out is just because it's takes place in a time that I don't think I've ever played a video game. So it's like it takes place during the Napoleonic Wars.
Okay.
And it's a first-person Souls-like game, says the creators of the game. So you've got flasks that you
Wow.
do. You've got hard combat that's reminiscent of fucking Kingsfield, I suppose.
So they saw Liza P and they go, look, we can do anything with this genre, okay?
Basically.
Yeah, truly.
So you've got like a French captain with his big goofy hat transforming into some sort of macabre, disgusting werewolf man. Like it's just like,
But it's
okay,
Pinocchio
man,
in
you
it.
got my attention. I'll
my.
fucking take a look. I've never seen anything take place in the Napoleonic Wars before. And then my very, very last one is Project Spectrum.
This looks
Is
cool
a
too.
PvPvE game that looks like if Hunt and Fear had a baby.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So
Looks very
yeah, it looks pretty
cinematic.
sick.
yeah, you're hunting monsters, but also there's other players in there that are trying to fuck you up. But instead of the, Wild West guns that we all know and love from Hunt, they've got regular ass modern guns, as it were. It looks cool. You guys got anything else from Gamescom that you were horny about?
I don't think so.
No, I think that's it. I think you covered it all. Honestly, like I said, I'm excited about that new Onimusha game. That looks really cool. This Valor Mortis game looks pretty sick. I like the idea of a first-person Souls-like. And, I mean, that Silent Hill F trailer, I mean, we already knew that game was coming out, but I'm just so fucking excited
Well,
about
just
it,
getting
man.
updates on some
Yeah,
of these is
yeah.
very cool in a big lump, in a big dump.
Big dump. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
But alas, I have had enough with these mid-tier announcements. So I'm waiting for, the Game Awards at the end of the year for the good shit. So let's instead flee from the future and head back to the past as we have RetroGameTreasure.com and the Megabuck take us back in time with this week's Retro Zone game. Buck.
Let's go back in time.
Dracula.
It's giving Evil Wizard. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Dracula. 6
They're
Draculas.
coming to get you, Barbara.
Zombies.
Oh, zombies. Okay.
This, if you haven't played this game, it's an absolute crime if you have not. And I'm talking about the original PS3 and Xbox 360 Dead Rising.
Oh, nice.
Okay,
Oh,
I
very
do
good.
believe we have talked about this one before.
I know we've talked about it before, but have we done it on Retro Zone?
Yeah, it's never
don't
been in a retro
remember.
zone. I don't think it's been a retro zone, but yeah.
I've covered wars, you know.
No, I was there, Gandalf.
Go off on Dead Rising.
Yeah.
Look, Dawn of the Dead is my absolute favorite George Romero movie. It's my
Great
favorite
movie.
zombie movie of all time. So when I heard that Capcom, the kings of Resident Evil, were making a mall-based zombie movie, I'm pretty sure I crapped my pants. If we were to go back
being excited.
if we go back in time, be like, okay, please don't screw this up. And while the photo thing is a little bit kooky, I don't even think it really needed it.
Sure.
This game is so amazing the way that it plays out. It gives you that time limit, if you remember, until you're going to get picked up. So you have a certain amount of time to do all of the things, which gives it amazing replayability. We talked about it, I remember, because I talked specifically about running over like 30,000 zombies to get the Mega Buster.
You know what it was?
That's
It was
right.
the Easter egg episode.
Yeah, there you go. Because I absolutely love that of it. But
That's
just
right.
in general, being able to run around this giant mall, killing hundreds and thousands of zombies, go into every store. This was like when we made the leap from the PS1 and then to the PS2. We started to go, oh man, I wonder like if soon I'm going to be able to like go into every building like in a game, like when you play open world games and you could go into like one or two buildings but not all of them. And so when you could go literally everywhere in this mall, it was just such a treat to play
Right,
this.
every single store, the roof, the garage, outside.
Yeah,
And
boiler
my
rooms,
favorite-
backstage, movie theater.
My favorite thing about this game, honestly, just as a bystander, because I only watched Buck play it, is that Capcom has the stankiest flair out of any developer ever. Like they are
What do
just
you mean?
so just like they
Yeah.
like when you play it, like, okay, it's a zombie game and you're saving people's lives and it's really serious. Also, you can put on a helmet that makes you look like one of the little Lego guys from Batman, or like from Mega Man. You know what I mean? Like they just like
make
they
sure to
can't
take a-
help
make sure to take
themselves
a
but be
selfie with
really
zombie.
quirky and
Yeah.
fun, just like all of their games. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it has a serious tone, but then it's incredibly goofy and Japanese feeling. Like just everything down to like the way, just like every cue that when an item is on the ground, it feels like a video game. Like I can't explain it, but obviously, as Buck stated, it's based off of Western things, which is zombie movies.
Yeah.
But Capcom is just so inherently fucking Japanese that it has that Capcom flair that you
Yeah,
can't.
they got to put
like
the
I said,
kooky
you
shit in
can't-
there.
Yes, it's the same way
They don't
Monster
take
Hunter.
themselves too seriously.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
also
kind of appreciate
otherwise,
that, you know?
Me too.
otherwise this
Yeah.
should have just been a Resident Evil game in the mall, right?
Right.
So they put
Right.
that little quirky twist on it.
And it would have
too.
been scarier and sort of like darker and macabre, but since it's, I don't know. Like I said, they just instead chose to take a lighter hearted angle of attack for it, and it's just such an iconic game.
I think they wanted a really good excuse to put as many zombies on screen as they possibly, like the systems could possibly handle.
Right.
See, that was the
Yeah,
big
yeah.
deal for me when this game came out. When I like hearing about how many zombies could be on screen at once was just like
Right.
I think
wild.
that was the
you know?
second or third one. They made a really big deal out of the fact that there could be like 1,000 zombies
Yeah.
on screen at once with no slowdown or some insane
Cool.
number like that.
So
Yeah.
many
Sick, bruh.
zombies.
Yeah,
Is this
right.
game rated M for mature?
Oh yes. Very
Okay.
much so.
Yeah.
Zombie blood. You're chopping off humanoid looking. I mean, they're humans, I guess. You're chopping off their heads.
So, if I'm a RetroGameTreasure.com subscriber,
Yeah.
do you have zombies as a subgenre for video games by chance?
Survival horror is one of the genres you can select, and so while this kind of skirts that because it's not a Resident Evil game per se, it definitely still kind of goes in there, even though it's not meant to be super scary. I mean, there's definitely some moments. There's the bosses, the psychos as they're called.
Mhm.
Dude, that one guy that you fight in the freaking grocery store. Screw that, Jazz.
Yeah. Nice. Vinny, you play much Dead Rising?
I didn't play it myself, but I watched college roommate play it rather extensively. It was like it was the hotness in our college apartment for a good month. So
It's a great game to watch.
Yeah, right,
it is a
right.
great game to watch. It's
Yeah.
a great game to order some takeout and just plop down on the couch on a Friday night, watch your nerdy roommate and your nerdy ass sit there and watch Dead Rising.
Yeah.
As he kills literally over 1,500 zombies on any given playthrough.
Right.
Just so
Day.
many
Beautiful.
goddamn enemies.
I love it.
Peak.
Cool. Well, hey, listen, go now to www.retrogametreasure.com, sign up, select Survival Horror and Xbox 360. This is on other consoles as well, right?
Yeah, it initially came out on I think the PS3 and then came out on the 360 the same year or later that year. But yeah,
And you can get your hands on a copy of Dead Rising, which I think would make an excellent addition to your collection if you don't have it already, because that shit still stands up. Okay, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to get into the meat of our episode and listen to our message from the King of Video Games. See you on the other side. All right, we're back, and it's time to listen to our message from our dear friend, the King of Video Games. So, if you're driving right now, you might wanna pull over and pull out your phone because you'd hate to miss, the King of Video Games. Every time he sends us a message, it's always so fun. He's always so full of life, and he
We love
can't
the king.
read. Anyhow. Get your ears ready. Like I said, I couldn't quite decipher what this message is about. So let's take a look.
皆様、今からビデオゲームのキングをご紹介いたします。ゲームとレジャークルーの皆さん、こんにちは。ビデオゲームのおっさま、私です。またまた、ビデオゲームの一品のリクエストをして、持ってきました。 今週はアニメ大社がビデオゲームを王国にやってきます。彼は本当にかっこいい。いつもこんなことを言っています。遊びは終わりだと、お前はもう死んでいる。と、ほう、向かってくるのか。うわー。もし彼が私のアメリカ人のゲームを全部済まらないと思ったらどうしよう。ゲームトレジャークルーの皆さん、助けてください。ゲストを感動させるために、とっておきのアニメゲームの一品を持ってきてください。早くください。
Unbelievable.
Man, the king sure sounds different there.
Unbelievable.
So, geez, I guess if you didn't have the video on, you wouldn't have any idea what the king of video games was saying just there because he was speaking entirely in Japanese.
Subtitles like an anime.
I
That was
appreciate that.
incredible.
Yeah, I'm very fond of anime subtitles. That
He
was
sounded like an older man or younger man trying to do an older man impression.
So,
Yeah, right.
what the king just asked us, if you are just listening to this, is apparently the ambassador of anime is coming to the Kingdom of Video Games, and he needs us to give him anime game gems.
Yeah,
And King,
wow.
I cannot help but think that you have come to just the right show to find anime-based video games.
Oh, no doubt.
I would love to go first. I have a couple. King, I know you watched the show, so you probably watched last week when I mentioned that I used to have the Berserk video game for the Dreamcast. And I just wanted to give that an honorable mention. It's just a straight-up beat-em-up, mostly boss fighting rush game where you play as Guts and you fuck up a lot of the demons from the show. But I wanted to, upon thinking about that game, I remembered that about another extremely violent 90s anime video game that I used to have for the PlayStation 1. I am talking about, and this is so strange, a 2000 game that was developed by Victor Interactive Software. It was published by Victor Interactive Software in Japan, but in America, it was published by Jellicoe. And in Europe,
Crappy companies.
I know. In Europe, it gets better. In Europe, it's published by JVC. I'm talking about the PlayStation 1 game Vampire Hunter D.
Ooh.
It's just straight up called Vampire Hunter D.
Absolutely.
So if
own
you
a
haven't
copy of
played
that.
it, it's probably because I'm not going to lie to you, this game kind of sucks. But I had
As
it.
a lot of these do.
And it is a lot of these do, but as we'll probably get into saying over and over again, you have to understand that at this time in our lives, it didn't matter that they sucked.
Yeah.
Because
We were happy to have them.
just give them to us,
He's right,
please,
yeah.
for the love of God. I just remember being like, oh man, there is a Vampire Hunter D game. Please let me have it. So if you've never seen Vampire Hunter D, it's like the same era as Ninja Scroll. It's got beautiful hand-drawn art and is incredibly violent. And it takes place in like a post-apocalyptic future in which vampires are vampires are real, but they're really just like mutated humans. That's not important. The important thing is that the main character is a vampire, a la Alucard, and he hunts other vampires.
Dampier,
Yeah,
exactly.
a Dampier. You're right. He's a daywalker. So this game is like half 3D action game, like those 3D Castlevanias that like were kind of medium. I know one of them is particularly one of Buck's favorite games, and Resident Evil 1. So the game has stagnant camera and tank controls,
Which
but
was
then
popular at the time.
which were yes,
Which was the style at
Kind
the
of.
time.
and but also has like live action combat with your sword because D has a giant body length sword that he uses.
Yeah.
It's like
And if you look up
size.
any reviews for this game, people are like, that's not a good mix. Like Resident Evil gets away with it because it takes place in tiny corridors and you basically point in the general direction and the game auto shoots kind of for you at the enemies. But in this game, you're trying to line up sword swings on guys while using tank controls. And I'm not going to lie, it's very difficult. And I remember playing as a kid and being like, I don't think I'm going to beat this one.
Like zoinks.
It basically follows one for one the plot of the second movie, which is just like some guy's like, help, D, this vampire's kidnapped my daughter. And also, there are other vampire hunters with you. And you just slowly, like, walk around Dracula's castle, even though it's not Dracula or whatever, and you collect items like a Castlevania game, basically. Like, you found a blood vial, and it increases your max health, or you found this power-up thing that gives you more magic power, da-da-da-da. But then also, like Resident Evil, it's like you found a key to go to the next area, or you found this piece of, like, a dossier that explains what's going on, quote-unquote, in the castle. And then it's just got some really difficult boss fights, like I said, because of those camera angles. But it's, you know, if you like Vampire Hunter D and you have a PS1, you should pick it up. You can beat the whole game in like 4 hours. I watched a playthrough of someone beating it because it's frankly, it's not very long and not very... The only reason it would take you long is if you keep fucking dying because the controls are so bad.
It's one of those things with all these anime games is like, that all sounded so cool, and you play it and you're like, oh.
Yeah. I will say this, though. There's bats in the game that fly around, and they made this custom animation. If you jump in the air and cut a bat, the bats die in one hit, and he cuts them in half vertically.
Cool.
And their bodies just
That's
collapse
fucking
onto the floor.
Yeah.
And then after you kill monsters, their bodies just stay there on the floor. And Buck has mentioned this before. We were talking about the Resident Evil remake. That alone was something to be like, whoa, cool. Their corpse just lays on the ground like that.
Stays there. It doesn't disappear, and it's totally gamey.
So, King of Video Games, I think that the ambassador of anime would be impressed if you were to show him that you have this very rare commodity that is the Vampire Hunter D game for the PlayStation 1, made circa 2000. Buck, what gem do you have for the King of Video Games?
One at a time, or...
Yeah, we can go one at a time. I've got another one if we've got time, but we'll see how much we get to talking.
I've got two, and I need to do both of them. So I won't be long on this one. I'm not bringing one game, King. I'm bringing a trilogy. An absolute gorgeous trilogy, if you were. And that is, starting in 07-ish, the Dynasty Warriors Gundam trilogy.
Sick, bro.
My
Sick.
king.
Okay.
Good pick. Good pick. Good pick. Good pick.
Definitely.
If you ever played
Nice.
Dynasty Warriors, similarly, it makes sense, but it's also racist that there's like 200 people on screen from Asia that all look the same.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
But if we're fighting giant robots, it's perfectly acceptable for all the Zakus and all the gyms to look the same, right?
That's true.
So
That's true.
my immersion was checked when this first one came out. These, if you ever played any of the Dynasty Warrior games, again, too, they're always kind of mission based, and they have you do different things. Go here, kill this boss. Go here, kill this sub boss. But there's actually modes in this that like straight up follow like the UC timeline. Like you can play as Amuro, and you got to do this. And you got to go, stop Plu 12, and then go fight Char, and then of course Char doesn't die, and then Char shows up again in a different suit, and you can follow those different
Buck,
timelines.
you're telling me you're not enthralled by the recreation of ancient battles between Chinese militaries between the year 1000 and 1200 or something? You're telling me you'd rather hear the plot of Gundam? I can't believe that.
I could appreciate if you're a
excuse
history person that's really cool, but I'm a Gundam person, so I want the Gundam one.
My man.
You don't want to be legendary general of the Chinese army?
He doesn't want to be Cao
Yes.
Cao or whatever.
Yeah.
Moving
Yes.
on.
I want to be
crazy.
Char Aznable, legendary
No shit.
captain of the Xeon army, while he tries to kill all the zombies in the process. This has got fights on land, fights in space, like depending on which one, anywhere from like 60 to like 120 different mobile suits that you can pilot and play as. A lot of them you can jump out of the story and you can go do this mission but play as Unicorn Gundam, which makes absolutely no sense in this timeline, but that's not the point. The point is to have fun as well. And then I think all of these, except for they all had 2-player modes as well.
Yes, that's what I was on the tip of my tongue. Be like, I hope he mentions the fact that they have 2-player, because we played the fuck out of the 2-player modes of this game.
When the first one came out, Xbox Live was still kind of its infancy big. These two have like up to 4-player online stuff too, which I'm not sure. I don't remember if I played that. I don't remember if it's co-op or versus, but and they
It
added
works
the.
I was going to say it works so well with the way the Dynasty Warriors missions work would be like go here and kill a bunch of guys, and then something will go like, oh no, the place that you just were is also getting fucked up again. So then you have to work with your teammate to go like, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
We're gonna break apart. I'm gonna go, and then I'll meet you back at the next one. You know what I mean? And then instead of running there, you're a Gundam, so you fucking fly there and shit with your. It's really cool,
and,
really
and
effective.
it all works too, because if this was the anime, it'd be like, Amuro, you have to take care of Char, you know.
Break off. Go.
Someone else go back one of the kids, whoever's in the G fighter, go back and help White Base or something like that. Like that was just awesome. And they added that Musou Gundam, the one that's covered in samurai armor. The black, he's right on the back, if you can see. He's covered in the black armor, and obviously it's a small picture, but
sick.
Dude, yeah, they'd be just
great game.
Well, we got the
King,
first
you
one.
Can't go wrong with these.
The fact that we got 3, you could play any one of them, King. The ambassador of anime would love them.
Nice. Well, Raph, do you have a video game anime gem for us?
I do. I actually, so I had one initially because I was talking to Mac earlier. I actually didn't play a lot of anime-based video games growing up. And then I thought of a couple. The one that I'm actually going to bring up is a modern game. So 2 of them I want to talk about actually. So first one is Dragon Ball GT Final Bout.
Cool.
Okay.
On the PS1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the not so good game in the choices that I had for today. It's all right. You know, it's like we were talking earlier.
You say, yeah. I mean, you say not good, but it existed.
It was a Dragon Ball game.
Alone.
It was a Dragon Ball fighting game. I was like, holy shit, I get to play as my favorite characters from an anime that I loved growing up. I want to kind of briefly touch on that one just because I want to go right into my main game here, which is Dragon Ball Fighter Z, the game that I think fucking perfected Dragon Ball fighting games. I think it is, in my opinion, one of the best team fighters ever made. It is the game. I found out apparently this game actually is a lot of people's first fighting game. It came out in 2018, and a lot of like modern gamers, a lot of younger gamers, really before that they were playing mostly Smash, because that was like really the biggest fighting game for a long time. It kind of did what Street Fighter 4 did. You know, they call the 08ers, kids that in 2008 discovered Street Fighter 4. A lot of people in, you know, a decade later discovered this game and got really into fighting games. I think the things that they did really well with this game, because I've talked about this game before, but never really talked about why I like it so much. But it is just the strongest and most cohesive art style I've ever seen in like an anime fighting game. It looks like you're watching an episode of Dragon Ball Z. Like the animation looks fucking perfect. If you're playing it on a computer where you're getting a full 60 FPS, this game looks fucking gorgeous. It really does look and feel like the anime that it's trying to emulate. I also really like
shading extreme, right?
Right. The cell shading looks just like it looks perfect. The controls to this game are actually really like simple and intuitive, but they can also be really deep and technical. Like if you get really good at the game, I've seen some people that play this and I'm like, pros that play this game are like phenomenal at it. It has a very low skill floor, high skill ceiling. Really excellent sound design, and then last thing that ArcSys knocked out of the park on this game was just speed. It is like the fastest fucking fighting game I've ever played. It's so zippy and like quick, and yeah, that actually will make it very hard when you play against people that you know are much better than you. Yeah, I'm not normally really into team fighters, but I think this one was just like, it just had a lot of cool stuff that really let me like sink my teeth into it. I like that you can switch characters kind of on the fly. They can like be part of like certain supers that you're doing. Like you can do like with Gohan, like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, you can do that Kamehameha where Goku comes up behind him and like does it with him. And that always looks, it feels fucking amazing. With the speed and the way that you can switch it out, it's almost like you're watching like in the show when you have like multiple people fighting one person and they're all kind of going at it, like jumping in and out. It does that really, really well. The only thing about this game is that I just wish there was more people still playing it online, because unfortunately it's a little bit dead. I mean, it's not dead, but it's just, you know, it doesn't have the same player count that it did probably in the beginning. And then I had just 2 more honorable mentions that I just kind of wanted to like just mention. Classic ones that I used to play: Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. I've talked about it before, so I won't delve too much into it. That game is fucking awesome. If you have a PS2 and you can find that game, go play it, because it's fucking fun. Play it with some friends, have a few beers, it's great. And I don't know how I play this. I did at some point growing up because I have very vivid memories of playing one of these two games, but Gundam Battle Assault 1 and 2. I know it didn't come out in the US. Like, did it?
We've definitely covered Battle Assault.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to get too into it, but I just want to like mention that. I put that
Battle
into
Assault
the
2
thoughts.
was in my top 5 PS1 games.
Yes, and it is fucking awesome. It just looks so cool. But yeah, that's what I got. Those are both all the games that I brought to this. I one of my favorite anime, one of the only anime games that I ever played, and yeah, it's amazing. Play it.
Word.
Yeah.
All right, Venny, your anime gem for the king.
Your Majesty, first I want to give an honorable mention to a game that I've discussed before on the podcast, and won't go too much into it, similar to Raph's pick, but I want to make an honorable mention to Deedlit in Wonder Labyrinth, based on the record of Lotus War anime, which is phenomenal. It was heavily inspired by Dungeons and Dragons, core early 90s art style, just beautiful art. And Your Majesty, if you've ever played a modern Castlevania game, or excuse me, not in a modern, a core Castlevania game like Symphony of the Night, Aria of Sorrow, all the GBA titles, this will scratch that itch. It is very much Symphony of the Night vibes through and through. So wonderful, wonderful game. The gem that I would like to submit for his approval, for His Majesty's approval, was actually a game that was part of the original 12 announced titles when the Sega Saturn was announced back in 1994. This anime game gem was one of the games originally announced with the system, and that is Magic Knight Rayearth for the Sega Saturn, based on the anime of the same name. It had that beautiful, gigantic eyes, very cute Clamp style because it's from the Clamp studio. Rayearth was really popular in the early 90s, and the game was yeah, exactly. And Rayearth, the game, had this really cool, like, chibi anime sprite style, and it very much reminds you of like how Squatty Link is in Link to the Past.
Yeah.
Or how Squatty Willow is in the Willow action RPG on the NES. It's, I mean, you laugh, but it plays the exact same way.
Willow
He
is
laughs
also
at
a little
everything.
person.
Don't, yeah.
The
It looks
thing
like
with
if Secret of Mana and The Legend of Zelda had a baby or something.
Yeah.
that's very valid because the three main characters are always together, in the show, and you could swap between them. They each have different abilities, similar to, the hero, the sprite child, and the princess in Secret of Mana. So yeah, absolutely spot on. Now, the interesting thing about Magic Knight Rayearth, I would love to share a box copy for our friends watching along. But here's the thing. This game, the American version of this game, has gotten so ungodly expensive.
Really?
You have to be a very dedicated Saturn collector to want to add this one to your roster. We're talking like 1,000 and up for this game.
It's unfortunately part of the reason why we don't carry Saturn games at Retro, because even common titles are worth $50-$60. Our boxes are only $39.
Now, there's the Japanese version. For whatever reason, you can get the Japanese version of this game for a song, but the American version, we're talking 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 for a complete boxed copy of this game. Wow. I have a very close friend who was a roommate for a while, many years back, and he was collecting the entire U.S. Saturn library. And he was going to be moving out soon, and it was like, kind of end of an era. And I bought this game for him on eBay when it was about $250.
Oh.
And I looked at it 2 or 3 days ago, and I sent him a link, and I said, dude, check the price on your Saturn Rayearth. And he was like, I know, man, it's sick. So
he messaged me like a year or so back because he finished that collection. He before the price, while the prices were getting stupid, but he finished that Saturn collection.
Fantastic. Yeah. So, Your Majesty, I think you would adore this game. If possible, it sounded like you're in the land of the rising sun at the moment. So see if you can find a Japanese copy, much more affordable. Not to say that your vast stores of riches could not get you an American copy.
Well, the king speaks Japanese, obviously. So the king could just play a Japanese copy.
Exactly. I'm saying if he wanted the U.S. copy, I'm sure His Majesty could make it happen. He is the king of video games after all. So the ambassador of anime will absolutely be thrilled that you mentioned this game gem from the Saturn era, mid 90s classic. Beautiful game, beautiful animation, just
Very nice.
feels good. And based off of fantastic anime, Magic Knight Ray-Earth.
And that Saturn disc gets you some nice music I'm hearing here.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent sound effects and music.
Absolutely.
Beautiful game. Beautiful game. Well, I think if we want to, I've got time for one more. Buck, you've got another?
I do.
Here, let me just touch because we've got a couple minutes here, extra time. I thought of one other one that I wanted to suggest to the king.
All right.
We're diversifying our anime field here. So, 2005, PS2 game, published by Square Enix.
I'm listening.
Made about an anime that is very, very popular and beloved by us here at this panel, I believe. I'm talking about Full Metal Alchemist 2, Curse of the Crimson Elixir.
Is that the PS2 one?
Yes.
Whoa,
Do you remember
never
this
heard of
game,
this.
I
Buck?
think I played the first one, not that one.
Yes. I don't know if we played the first one.
Maybe.
Okay, so what is it? It's a 3D beat 'em up with some like pretty light RPG elements. You get like items that you find that you equip on Edward and Alphonse, and then you've got some like really simple leveling that happens. But for the most part, it's just a beat 'em up. So I'm talking about the second one in particular because the second one makes incredibly vast improvements upon the first one. And then the third one in this installment of games, it has a very strange decrease in quality. So it's very bizarre. They're all made by Square Enix, but the second one is the only one that's fully voice acted.
Oh.
For some reason, in the third one, there are cutscenes with voice acting in it, and they get the original voice actors for the English show to be the voices, which is cool in all the games. But in the second one, like every piece of dialogue is voiced. Even when you're just like walking around the world and talking to random bystanders, they got the actors to redo their lines. It's really cool. So the way the combat works basically is you're controlling Ed and Al at the same time. And so as Ed, you're playing as Ed, but then Al walks around and you can like give him commands like punch that guy, get behind this guy, go pick that up, etc., etc. And then as Ed, you walk around and, if you've seen Full Metal Alchemist, you know that they know Kung Fu, basically. And so he's doing Kung Fu and shit. But then you can transmute objects in the world into other objects that you can use to do your 3D battling. And then the number of objects that you can create out of the given objects gets larger the farther you go in the game, like the more you level up or whatever. So like an example would be like in the first level, if you come across like a stone, it'll have like a little indicator on it that lets you know you can transmute this stone into something else.
That's right. I
And you
remember
walk up to it and then you press and hold circle and then it'll give you options as to what you can turn it into. And so at first, it's like the only thing you can turn it into is a spear. So he turns it into like, if you've seen Full Metal, he uses the metal that's inside the stone and restructures it and turns it into blah, 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 and you make a spear. But then by the end of the game, you're making swords and spears and axes and all sorts of different things. And there's other shit, like there's wooden crates, and you can touch them and have them turn into bombs that just like explode and kill enemies around you or whatever.
He knows something we don't know.
Huh?
I said he knows something that we don't know.
You know how that show would work. They'd be
Yeah,
like, I
it's
took
good.
the carbon
The
from the
first
wood
one
and I
came out
turned it-
like prime time Buck in college studying Japanese, so I was importing a lot of games, and so I'm pretty sure I played a Japanese copy of the first one.
That might be
Muddled
true.
my way through it.
But yeah, King, I'm just saying Full Metal Alchemist is like one of the most epic animes to ever exist, and I don't know a lot of people that have played this trio of beat 'em ups. And like I said, it's made by Square Enix, so it's just like the second one in particular is a pretty good game. It follows the plot just of the show. It starts out and you're the boys and they're trying to find the Philosopher's Stone. So you're on the train to go to that town where they get tricked by that big fat guy.
Yeah.
He's the first boss, and when you fight him is where you learn how to make the spear, which if you've seen the show, that's when Alphonse makes the spear or whatever, or Ed makes the spear.
Sounds like his main weapon for a long time.
Yeah. So yeah, again, not a very long game, but just one of those things where if you liked Full Metal Alchemist, it was 2005, and you went, oh, fuck, there's a Full Metal Alchemist video game. So King, hey, go show the ambassador of anime Full Metal Alchemist 2, Curse of the Crimson Elixir for the PS2, and you will not be disappointed. Buck, give us another game.
King, if the ambassador of anime was born in the early 80s, you will make his Japanese heart aflutter if you mention the Japan exclusive Famicom title, Famicom Jump Heroes Retsuden. For the 20th anniversary of Famicom of Shonen Jump, they made 2 Famicom games called Famicom Jump. This one in particular is an action RPG where you run around on the map and you beat up enemies. There's mini games, fun little mini games, but the crown jewel of this, and why I have to manage it not only for Mac's face right now on Spotify video, but for Vinny, the main goal in this is to collect the 16 different recruitable jump heroes. Now we're talking 1989.
Right.
The jump heroes to help you in different worlds, aka they join your action party and you can have them do different things. If you can't see them on this cover because there's about 50 characters shoved on this cover, let me name a couple for you, such as Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star, Kakarot, Son Goku from the original Dragon Hunter. On here, somewhere up here, you can see Ryo Saiba from City Hunter is up in here.
Yeah.
Pegasus Seiya is here from Saint Seiya. Captain Tsubasa Uzora is on here himself. Kinnikuman, the wrestling guy, is in the corner over here. You can recruit all these guys. Mr. Venacore, did you know that this was also during the JoJo Battle Tendency run?
No.
This is the first video game to feature Joseph Joestar.
No!
Oh.
Joe.
This is fucking epic.
Yeah,
That's
this is
awesome.
amazing.
So you
I just saw Piccolo.
collect all
That's
these-
fucking great.
Fantastic.
Because they visit all the different worlds from the
Yeah.
different shonen characters, and
They're collecting the Dragon Balls, but it's JoJo and the guy from Shining, and they're what the fuck? This is the best idea ever.
Oh my god. Son
this-
of a
and
bitch.
especially too, this is funny because every once in a while people get imports from us and they think they're bootlegs because they just don't know any better. Famicom cartridges came in different colors and different sizes, and this is what the Famicom Jump cartridge looks like. It's a big chonker.
It's very
came in
squatty,
different
almost like a
sizes.
Super
Big boy.
Famicom
It's bigger.
cartridge.
And a lot of these would come with extra stickers so you could put a label on top, which they obviously fixed when they brought NES games to the States. Then they're like, oh yeah, that's probably,
Wow.
you stack these up in a box. You kind of want to be able to see which game's which.
Right.
If-
Wow.
He's an
Sick,
80s
brother.
kid from Japan.
Crazy pull.
You will give him the nostalgia peak.
They make
Well
those
played.
Shonen Jump mashup
Well
fighting
played.
games.
They do now,
But I've
yes.
never seen one that's like an action RPG like this. This is such
Right?
a fucking good
Being
idea.
able to collect these different characters and go around and do stuff. I know sometimes the best ideas are borrowed or stolen. They just need to make this in current shonen.
Incredible.
Right?
Well, King, I hope you enjoyed those anime game gem recommendations, and we hope that the ambassador of anime finds your game collection serviceable. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to do our What Else You Got and go ahead and head on out of here. See you guys on the other side. Oh my God, I cracked myself up. All right, we are back and we are here at our What Else You Got, the segment of our show where we can bring anything to the table, be it video game or otherwise. Couple updates for me. I finished Berserk, the Golden Age arc. I was wrong. That show is about violence. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, dude.
Squeeze me?
The last episode, and honestly, the second to last and the last episode were both just like,
The Eclipse is a
Jesus
nightmare,
fucking
yeah.
Christ, dude. Like,
Yeah.
relax, bro. Trigger warning for sexual assault.
Oh yeah.
It's really graphic and it's hard to watch, but it's fucking crazy. Yeah, well, I guess that's really the only update, quote unquote, I have. But a couple things that I played. I played Battlefield 6. I got to jump in the demo. I think in our group chat, I was like, "Hey guys, there's free Battlefield 6. If anybody wants to give it a try, we can make that a whole episode." And then these guys tried to put it on their computer, and they were like, "They want you to restart your computer with different BIOS." So I'm out. And I was like, "All right, true. Let me try to play it on the Xbox." And I got to tell you, as good as we are about talking about anime games, you did not want to see us having an episode about Battlefield 6 because it would just be us going, we hate this. This is not where we get enjoyment from video games.
No.
My girlfriend watched me play it, And she said, and I quote, "It's not that the game is bad, it's just you're bad at these games." Thanks.
This is a perfectly acceptable reaction.
It's very good.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I didn't get
fine
to
with that.
play with a full squad. Obviously, if you played Battlefield, you know it's all about respawning on your squad and taking objectives with your squad. So since I didn't do that, this game just became get murdered during war the game, where it's just like I'm alive and I'm dead, and I'm alive and I'm dead, I'm alive and I'm dead. So whatever. But I did play a good game just before we started this, which is Evil Empire. The people that made Dead Cells have made a roguelike Prince of Persia.
Cool.
And it's
Oh,
called
wow.
The Rogue Prince of Persia. And it's fucking good, y'all.
That sounds like
It's-
some first draft energy name
Yes.
right there.
Draft energy for sure. Yeah.
It does. But it's
Game
basically
looked cool, though.
it's just like Dead Cells, but they just took the Prince of Persia IP. The one mechanic that they have changed that really makes it the Prince of Persia thing is that they add it. It's still 2-dimensional, but there is wall running in the game because there'll be moments where in the background there is a wall like behind your
How do
guy.
they denote that?
Well, just because imagine you have a 2D perspective. Okay, so your guy's on a floor. The background is not a wall. It's a landscape. Of,
All right, that's fair.
Right? Okay. But then your guy walks past a building, and now all of a sudden there's a wall behind him, perspective-wise. And you can press the L button to wall climb on that wall. So it's almost like it gives you an excuse to walk in midair, so to speak, so long as there is a piece of infrastructure behind you for you to walk on. And so, long story short, if you thought that Dead Cells was smooth, this game is like the smoothest fucking action game I've ever played in my life. Honestly, I only played it for like 3 hours, but I was just like, Raph came out and he's like, "What you playing?" And I'm just like,
Yeah.
mouth agape because I'm just
Yeah.
and my guy's just jumping, wall jumping, doing the thing. They're zipping over an enemy, cutting this guy, shooting this guy with a bow and arrow. It gives you this bonus where when you do good shit, you get a bar that builds up, and when the bar fills all the way up, you go faster. So you're fucking, it's awesome. Buck, I think you would like it a lot because I know you like Dead Cells.
Yeah, sure.
And it just does the same thing where it's just like, pick a route. All right, try to get to the end. You die. Oh, you got to go back to the beginning. And then when you get there, there's a blacksmith and he'll make you new weapons. And there's a guy that'll make you new relics and whatever. And here's a place to level up. You can go in with more health next time. So nothing new per se to talk about as far as it's a roguelike action game. But I'm just saying, we love it here at Retro Game Treasure when the right developers get matched up with the right IP. And I think matching the Dead Cell guys with Prince of Persia was probably the best thing Prince of Persia has done in a long fucking time.
Cool.
So if you like Prince of Persia and you're like me and you played the one that was kind of like a Metroidvania and you were like, no, this one's better. This one is better. Go play it. Buck, what else have you got for us this week, sir?
Well, I sure wish I had been there for tips from John Nightrain because the Gladios Everdark is out and he's a tough. I've gotten really close. I am not gonna lie. I had to go ride my exercise bike for like an hour right before this podcast because I was the last one alive in the party, and I shit you not, he had this much health.
Yeah.
I was so mad at myself and my teammates. so close. But I could use some John Nightrain tips. If only I hadn't missed him. I played the new Ninja Gaiden, Ragebound.
Okay, cool, perfect.
It's okay. It's okay. It's a Ninja Gaiden game, which if you remember, like as a kid, renting it from Blockbuster, wanting to try and beat it in a weekend, which you weren't gonna because it was too hard. Like that was kind of the way it was. It was just okay. It definitely got a little better once you got to play as the second character, the one that's from the same ninja clan as whatever one Ayane is from. Definitely nails the Ninja Gaiden like storytelling, like the way that they do that, and it's like son of Ryu or something like that, or pupil of Ryu.
Yeah, it's like
in
a
the same
fellow
kind of dragon.
ninja in the same clan or something.
Yeah, something like that. And so it's pretty cool. And like I said, when you get to the other character, she has some projectiles that make it a little more fun. So it's nice you have some more back and forth. I definitely need to spend some more time with it, I think, before I judge it. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking at that Shinobi game that comes out this next week, and I'm like, man, that looks better.
You think so?
Shinobi looks like it has more of like combo systems
Okay.
to like a la like a Guacamelee or some other kind of like, I know it's not a Metroidvania, or at least I don't think it is. I think it's still just level based like Ragebound is also. But Ninja Gaiden is like much closer, like old Ninja Gaiden, like slash special
You
ability.
switch between the
slash.
two characters on the fly, kind of like those old Castlevanias, right? Like where you can switch between the.
I think I'm just about to hit that part because I only
Okay.
played about 45 minutes or so, and I was like, "Yeah, it's okay." It didn't grab me to want to like sit there and play it for a couple of hours,
I
which
see.
that could be me just being old.
Probably not. And I don't know. It looked serviceable, and so that makes sense.
Right.
Raph, what else have you got for us this week, sir?
I got a couple of things. So I've got a game that I picked up a little while back while it was on sale, called Sklash, spelled SCLASH. Sklash.
Sorry.
Okay.
We were playing a board game last week, and the boss's name was Schmorga, and I was like, "Really?
Schmorga.
Schmorga.
Really?
Look out, guys!
Really?
Schmorga's gonna kill us all."
So this
from
game
Shadow
came
Watch out
out.
for his teammate Borg, Schmorgish and Borg.
From the
Buck's
Kiergan
favorite
Fjords.
Urkai.
So this
Yeah,
game came
right.
out August 4th of 2023. Its developer is Bevel Bakery, which is a fun ass name. Published by Maximum Entertainment and Abiding Bridge. So
Wow.
it's a 2D.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a 2D samurai fighting game, and it reminds me a lot of that game I talked about a little while back called First Cut Samurai Duel. You have a single button that you use to attack, and a single cut will kill you. In addition to that single button, you also have a button that parries, one that you can dodge and dash with, a shove that doesn't do any damage but that can interrupt attacks, and a button to actually sheath your sword, which you can actually like kind of. It's weird. You could stop the fight. I didn't get to play against another person with this. I played the story, but I played through like the first three chapters of it. But there are moments when you can put the sword away, take it out, and I think you can do that in the 2-player mode as well to kind of like stop the fight, sort of. But the combat feels pretty good in this game. It's tense because obviously one hit will kill you. And some of the mini bosses in the story mode, they take about 3 hits to kill, while you just die in 1. But the story itself in the story mode is fine. It's pretty cool. It's just the way it's told is mostly the problem for me. It's kind of clunky. The writing is kind of clunky. The dialogue feels very much like an info dump at times. And I often found myself skipping through long diatribes that some of the characters will go on. In my opinion, I think the standout feature for it is really like the beautiful art style. It looks like a hand-drawn
That's
like
very
oil
pretty.
painting almost. And also the character designs. Everybody looks really cool. Like they're all like these like cool like samurai with like animal masks on. Very anime, very fitting for today's episode, I think. I got it on sale for about $1.99, but the game is only like $8.99, and I
then
think that,
okay is serviceable then.
yeah, like even for $8.99, I think it's well worth it. Like this game is easily a solid like 6 to 7 out of 10. I gave it 7 out of 10 Samurai Animal Masks, so definitely worthwhile. You should definitely go check it out. There is one more game I want to bring up that I haven't played yet, but that was brought up to me by a friend of mine, and I kind of want to put it on people's radar because it looks interesting. It's a game called Abyssus, spelled ABYSSUS. This game is a first-person shooter. It's a 4-person PvP game, and it's got a very BioShock sort of like underwater punk look to it. It looks really cool.
I'm
true.
thinking I've seen it.
This was on sale for about $20 a while back. Right now it's like $25, which I think still looks pretty good for what it is. I'm thinking about asking the crew that I normally stream with to see if they'd be interested in getting this, because it might be a pretty fun game to do some streams on, especially with the fact that it just came out like very recently, just like a week or so ago. Yeah, the quality of it looks really good, and it looks like it'd be really fun to play with friends. 1 to 4 players, and I was looking at like some stuff about it, and it looks like they have like a few levels that they kind of rearrange some of the elements in them. So like it's a roguelike. Like every time that you play it, it's going to feel a little bit different, and it's kind of got like a boss at the end that you all have to take out together. So it looks pretty cool. That Night Rain.
It looks like that game GTFO got combined with like you said, with underwater punk shit.
Right. Brine punk, I guess is what you call it, right?
Yeah.
Brine punk.
Sure.
I like that. Yeah.
Got like scales on your gun and shit.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
Yes,
what I
that
got.
looks cool. I've seen that on Steam as well. Mr. Venicor, what else have you got for us this week, sir?
Buck's cat's butt in frame, I guess.
What's cat
Hates people but loves me for some reason.
For those of you listening and not watching live or not watching the visual version of this, Buck's cat just walked across the camera. So anyway, As far as video games go, I don't have much to report this week. As far as playing something new or experiencing something new, however, one piece of news that I'm very excited about is I have restarted my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Mr. Venacore. I started in 2022. I took a big break last year when we sold our house and did our big move, so I haven't streamed consistently in about a year. So just this week we did a couple nights. Monday was kind of a troubleshooting, see what's broken, see what still works, and then just last night, Thursday night, we hopped on for some 2 versus 8 Dead by Daylight. It was really fun. So
Dude, tell them about the new feature they added.
there is a new feature for 2v8 mode. Normally you would have to, because playing killer in 2v8 is very popular. Normally you would have to get with your friend, queue up as killer, and pretty much sit on your thumbs for about 20-25 minutes because the queue times were so long. These geniuses implemented this feature where you can queue up for killer and play a survivor while you wait your turn to play as killer. You can even invite friends too to play with you as survivor while you keep your line spotting killer. Yeah.
Dude, so they simultaneously solve both problems.
So smart.
You're still in your killer queue wait, even if your queue pops while you're in the match, and you go play survivor matches as a survivor, which makes the killer queues shorter because you're filling survivor spots.
So do you get pulled out of a game if your queue comes
that's what
up?
I was going to ask.
No.
I guess when you
hold your
finish your
spot.
match, it throws you into a match as a killer, right?
It holds your spot.
It just says, hey, it's your turn.
Yeah.
Click here.
That's awesome.
It just saves your spot in the queue and
Really
gives you
smart.
next in line if your match came up. We've had sometimes where we had to play 2 survivor matches because it literally was like a 20-something minute wait, and it told us when it popped back up, hey, it's like still a 9-minute wait. Do you want to play another one or you want to wait?
Wow,
And it's
so that long of a wait. Holy come on.
Yeah.
It's a very popular mode, and it's always
mode
limited
is-
time. It's always for like 2 weeks at a time or so,
Yeah.
so they generates more buzz about it.
Man, maybe I should
Exactly.
reinstall Dead by Daylight. Hell.
Genius. And
It's
and
a
this
lot
is
of
the mode
fun.
that added
It's a
the
lot less
classes.
sweaty.
This is the mode that added all the classes. You don't pick perks, so you don't have to know squat about the 200 perks in the game.
Right.
You pick scout or healer or whatever, and it gives you a preset abilities.
Cool.
Damn, Dead by Daylight always coming in with more shit for these guys to do. Well, that does it, I believe, for another episode of the Game Treasure Podcast. Dear listener or watcher, thank you so much for coming this far. Do us a huge favor and like and subscribe if you have not already. Tell your friends, why don't you, you jerk? And if you are just listening to this, make sure that you go to our YouTube and subscribe there, where you can catch all our little shorts that I edit of the most funniest episodes of the funniest bits of the episodes, and you can catch our live streams as well. Raph and I stream over the weekends. I'm trying to stream more with my buddy AI Soothsayer. So yeah,
funny
be on the
guy.
lookout there. You can email us at gametreasurepodcast@gmail.com. Head over to our Linktree where you can find our merch store. That's Linktree/the GTP. Get yourself a King of Video Games mug, why don't you? And you can find our Patreon there, patreon.com/the GTP, where for $5 a month you can get access to our bonus content, which is right now our UFO 50 Deep Dive series, which we do need to make the 6th episode of eventually.
It's
I
a
do need to play
5-part
that
series,
hidden
though.
game.
That's a lot of content.
It's a 5-part series. Each part is like an hour and a half long. So it's a lot of video games.
That's
that we
a lot
talk
of
about.
bonus content.
If you wanted to watch us rapid fire video games, that's the thing. So again, Linktree/the GTP. We want to thank Crunkwitch for the use of our theme song, Clash of the Droids. You can find their music on Apple Music, Spotify, and basically anywhere you can find music on the internet. They put out that new album this past year, so please give them as much love as you can. They make cool electronic music. And of course, last but not least, we have to thank RetroGameTreasure.com, owned and operated by the Megabuck himself, the bringer of Retro Zone video games. RetroGameTreasure.com is a subscription service that takes the hassle out of collecting retro video games. That's right. No more hunting, no more guessing, and no more wasted time. Instead, you become a RetroGameTreasure.com subscriber, and you select from a wide range of video game genres and consoles to collect for. Then Buck takes the numbers, he crunches them, then comes every month at the end of the month with a little box of games designed to fill out your collection. Like, you're like, I don't own a Super Nintendo. Then Buck doesn't send you Super Nintendo games. You're like, I only have a PlayStation 1 and I don't like racing games. I only want puzzle games. Well, then guess what? Buck won't send you puzzle games. He'll just send you racing games or whatever the fuck I just said. So if you want to start collecting a new console, he makes that easy too, because they have a console shop page where you can buy new and refurbished consoles. Then you head on over to your preference page, tell them you got that new console, and then boom, those games start getting drip fed to you every single month. And before you know it, your N64 collection has amassed a huge size. Whoa! So go now. Start collecting video games the easy way today with RetroGameTreasure.com. Buck, hit me with the list of this week's new subscribers.
This week we welcome Gabe Dyer, Ryan Blackmer, Daniel Lincoln, Gregory Olson, Santiago Aviles, Chase Salter, and Kyle Bachman.
Thank you guys so much for subscribing. It seriously makes a huge difference in our lives, and we appreciate you for it sincerely. Until next week, though, my name is Max Stein, and I love the Game Treasure podcast. It's so bad.
It was so bad.
Wake